Because of having such a small work area, well, I don't know if that's a blessing or a lot of people won't have access to even this amount of space or the ability to make this sort of noise, but I'm lucky, I guess. But because of the size of the work area, there's not a lot of opportunity inside here to have dramatic, amazing camera angles and camera shots. Yes, this is a chrome-plated socket on an impact gun. And she is not coming off. I should have my respirator on. I always forget. Whoa, my nose clip won't stay in place. Oh. And my spit bottle just broke off. And the bottle wants to work. Basically, that just sets the glue off pretty much instantaneously. There she blows! I'm very old school. I actually like to draw things, but my drawing skill isn't terribly good. There's the... Oop, get it in frame. That's the template for the blade. In this template I've added the hilt. Is it the hilt? Tang? This is for the guard, the pommel. Which will go on the end there, obviously, like that. That was plastic, but I want to see up here. Obvious ow is quite hot, and that's where my head is. I want to see how hot it is. 61 degrees. Yeah, 61 degrees for the roof, and that's how high, how close my head is. And here I am, drinking hot tea. I heard something just before and came out to look, and I heard a kookaburra. Ow, hot, 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 hot. Everything is hot, 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 hot. And hot, 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 hot. Can you see? Sort of. Good enough. There we go. Oh, it might become fatter or something. broken again. Hype. So far so good. Well, it's certainly a little flatter. Can the camera make anything out? Kinda, not really. I mean, I'll struggle, really struggle to get it any flatter than that. If it's like half a millimeter. So being a glutton for punishment, I went and bought another one. I couldn't find the receipt for the old one, and I think it's out of warranty anyway. That will be relegated to the I don't know what to do pile. But this time I actually took a photocopy, not a photocopy, a picture of the receipt. So when this inevitably breaks down again, I will have an easily accessible copy to take back to swap over. Okay, that's a result of 15 minutes worth of sanding. Yeah, I mean there is a very slight bow to it still, but good enough. Making a difference. That looks straight in the camera. It's going to be an interesting one to do. And I'm not sure how this point's going to do at the top here, but I want to try and stay accurate to the drawings and the game models and everything like that. I don't know how practical this is going to be as an actual knife, but I'd rather accuracy over usability at the moment. Blah, 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 blah. That's the edge roughed out. Yeah, coming along quite nicely. I think I'm going to stop for the day because it looks like we may have a storm on the horizon. So today I don't dare bring any of my cameras out. It's been raining fairly solidly for a number of days now. So much so I just can't get any work done. Compared to the last video where I was making stuff to what's been going on the last couple of days. Yeah, I don't know how well that's going to be picked up, but the ground now is completely waterlogged. So we've gone from bushfires and 40 plus degree temperatures to rain and overflowing gutters and stuff like that. This is just in Sydney, mind you. So yeah, it's not much work when this happens. So the differences are fairly subtle. Get it in focus. The tang is longer. I probably don't need it that long, but that just gives me some room for error. You can actually see where the guard goes. That's longer as well. They should be roughly the same size. The cardboard one is, yeah, another idea. Okay, after all that rain, we're up to the template's been printed out. A new blank has been cut, and there's the other one. This one's just a little bit longer. Going to mark the holes for center punch these hole marks. The mark of not talking well today. Anyway, as I discovered, I should have annealed this before I started work on it, because it's a lot harder material, and dogs barking. It's a lot harder material than this one. This one was quite easy to work with. So when I went to mark the holes, no, it's not going to focus. No, but there's just the tiniest mark. And this cheapy automatic center punch is completely blunt. I have another center punch that also was blunt. Ed buy this because it's so hard, so I went out and bought stuff that's not made in the old Candy Rock mountain. That one's made in Germany. It's only $8. Or a bigger automatic center punch that's made in Taiwan. So get these. Hopefully it will work. Ruined it right away. This needs to be annealed. I'm not going to be able to drill through that. There we go. I don't know if I got it hot enough, but I'll give it another 2 or 3 goes, and then see. You can actually, I don't know, may be able to see that right here it's actually started to burn something off. That might be an oxide layer that I was unable to get through. But yeah, that's going to take 10-15 minutes to cool the room temperature. So it was literally a 15-minute experiment to see, could I actually, can't see properly in there, can I actually make a guard from just some mild steel, sort of look like the guard off the Buster Sword. Obviously they're going to be holes drilled and then things inserted into those. They're the little nubbins that go in there. Obviously this is too wide as well, but just a quick experiment to see if I could do it, and I wasn't really concentrating all that much. I just wanted to sort of try it out, so I think we're going to have some success with that. Okay, it's been in for its heat bath. Now it's time to see if it'll take a mark or not. Yeah! Can the camera pick that up? Kind of. Perfect. That was 2 rounds of, first was a heat and then a fairly rapid cool. Then the second one was heating in the forge until it was to temperature, and then I let it cool in the forge. Camera pick that up. Not if I'm standing in the shadow. Yeah. Much better, I'll be able to drill through that. Probably help if I actually cut the template properly. Oh god, it's off by such a small amount, like 1 millimeter. There we go. Two holes. Are they in line? It would appear so. It's too shiny. Kind of like that, if you can see it. Should work out. Damn spit bottle came off again. Wondering if spit is a debonding agent for superglue. Or maybe the surfaces are too shiny. And yeah, got to fix that again. There's the guard pieces, almost to diameter, marked out where all the holes are supposed to go. rotate the camera. Yes, that's okay. Don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. It makes a sort of little arc. And the difference between focus, come on, there we go. The difference between it is 0.1 of a millimeter. So that's the kind of accuracy that I've not really had to do before, and yeah, I need a little bit more practice, but I'm going to run with that anyway. It's hopefully you won't be able to see it once it's finished. But yeah, it's the first one was much better.
I have to make a point that doing this is incredibly silly and dumb, and don't do it unless you know what you're doing with your power tools. Do at your own risk.
Just took a nut, jammed it between some other bits. Here's one part. That's the idea there. Of fixing that when the time comes. I'll cross that path when I meet it. I'll do the pommel now. That's the pommel done. Then I'll weld in here to the I'll weld through, and that'll make everything solid. I'll probably have to trim this down a little bit. Just enough handle, I guess. That'll maybe be a little shorter. I'm not sure how the... After doing this collar, I'm not entirely certain that was... I may have made it a little bit too small. Maybe. So it's been a couple of weeks now since I did any work on this knife. There's stuff that's been cropping up on the weekend that has taken my time away from it, and storms and all kinds of things happening, and planes coming overhead to ruin my audio. That one's pretty quiet. My balls arrived. These are some 5mm ball bearings that will hopefully fit into these holes. Now, they're literally a very light press fit. Very light. Not proud enough though, so I'm just going to probably take a little, what do you call them? Punch. I'll get a little punch and tappy tap all of them in, and see how they line up, and then I'll probably go in and put some weld, won't need much, a little bit of weld on the back here just to fill those, just lock them in place. Yes. I like that. There we are, 1 and 2. They look relatively flat. They may need a heat up with the torch. So that's the guard pieces. Whoa, focus. There's the 2 guard pieces. Pretty much done. I mean, it still looks like there's an ever so slight curve in them. But I think that'll do for the moment. So, absent-minded me came in earlier to have some lunch. I brought the camera with me. Then, finishing lunch and being very much distracted by things on the internet, I came out to start work again and completely forgot to record any of the welding or anything that I'd just done. There's the focus. There we go. So I was happily welding away, welding, finished welding, turned around to turn the camera off, and it wasn't there. So I missed all that welding, but don't worry, it wasn't all that exciting. Yeah, I don't know if you can see or not. Maybe that's... Can you see it? Looking in the viewfinder, see if anybody can see it. But anyway, this side's starting to buck. Like, I didn't get enough weld on one side because I was welding into a gap, and it started to bust through. I'm not going to fix it. It's just going to have to be that way. Good from afar. I came out here earlier to sort of potter around, and I got a bit carried away with this knife, so it's got the handle on. This is pick it up. I redid the ring here. I wasn't happy with the first one I made. It's slightly larger than the actual guard. I shouldn't have done it, but I couldn't help myself, because I made mistake after mistake after mistake. The pommel's done and welded on there. This collar's welded on. The brass handle has been forced on there, and so that is waiting for heat treatment now. Smells like burning oil. That's the test one. Relatively cleaned up. That has not been annealed yet. You can see some test electro etchings I've got on there, but it's hard enough. Can you smell what someone is cooking? Oh. Out of the oven, as you probably saw, pushed into the blue. the blue oxide, which is fine. There's some goldish colour, straw colour there. It's definitely not the end of the world. In fact, it's probably a little beneficial. I've measured out the length of leather that I need. I'm just going to be using some PVA, aka wood glue. Now I've seen people use something called Elmo's glue, which I can only assume is made from the corpses of that delightful anime character from Sesame Drive. Grover, I think it is. Yeah, the big yellow one. I'll put a picture up of him. But yeah, this is all I've got. I don't have any contact. I don't know where my contact adhesive has gone. It's gone for a walk somewhere. Housemate might have borrowed it, but this stuff should hold perfectly fine. I hope, think, want, need. Will cry if not. A cheap Chinese battery that I bought off eBay said it had half full. So I wonder if they've the camera was just turning off. I wonder if they've cheaped out and given me standard capacity in a longer capacity case, which happens. That took a lot longer than it should have, but considering the current climate and my lack of time and current skill level, next one should be a lot more accurate and go a lot quicker. But yeah, thoroughly pleased with that.
there you go. If you'd like a knife, let me know. I'll be giving this away on my Patreon, so join that and you get to win this.